I wrote this 25 years ago, and I want to share it with you. I'm hoping somebody out there on the internet is interested in climate and big ideas and might learn from my struggles. I had been thinking about transportation ideas for my adolescence, and I was at the end of university. I had this great idea that I thought could be a climate solution. My member of parliament was just elected Minister of the Environment, and I thought, oh, I'm going to hand this over to Minister Anderson, and somebody in the Ministry of Environment will take this and make it happen. I joined the Young Liberals, the political party, to try and get this idea to the minister. And the entourage responded with anger. How dare you bring ideas? This will embarrass the minister. We can't have this kind of discussion. And I had truly been under the assumption that people in power were looking for climate solutions. And these political types were like, no, there's no votes in climate change. And I was really shocked by how angry people were talking about these ideas. Dear Minister Anderson, I am a fourth-year computer science major at the University of Victoria. I am also an active member of the Young Liberals of Canada. I'm sure you're looking into transportation alternatives to replace polluting cars. And yeah, that line there, looking back, I don't think people were looking for alternatives to polluting cars. I mean, they talked about electric vehicles, they talked about all kinds of ideas, but I don't think they were truly serious about alternatives to automobiles. Some people suggest replacing the energy source of cars from gasoline to something else, like electricity, solar power, or hydrogen. Others discuss the benefits of mass transit. Neither of these alternatives is entirely satisfactory to me. Even if automobiles did not pollute, there is still the excessive space required for them. Traffic congestion, driving stress, and time spent in automobiles will not be reduced. Urban sprawl will continue. Mass transit is wonderful, however, it will not work in cities designed to accommodate the automobile. It will not work where businesses have little motivation to accommodate transit users. Mass transit is great for moving people around, but it is not good at transporting their stuff. I think it is possible we are missing the obvious. People need a system to transport stuff. Without passengers, such a system could be more efficient. People will use it if it is more convenient than the automobile. In this report, I will describe the concept which I am calling mini-rail and explain the benefits of such a system. So this letter, not quite how I would do it today. Mini-rail, not how I brand it now. I think it is good that it is descriptive. It's a little railway, mini-rail. But people didn't like that branding, and so I moved on. I say things like, I think it is possible we are missing the obvious. That's a bit juvenile. It's obvious. What was obvious to me wasn't obvious to other people. This is the report I did. I list all these other reasons why this is, I thought, a good idea. And I don't mention climate change in here at all. If we have a better transportation system, that's going to have all kinds of other benefits. The executive summary. What is it? Automated transportation of goods between buildings. Looking back, that's at least clear and succinct. Automated transportation of goods. That's what I want. Is this technically possible? Yes. I said, this is not creating new technology. This is creating something new using existing technology. What are the main advantages of this system? Mini rails will give people an option other than driving. People will drive less. Mini rails are very efficient, which will save time, land, money, and energy. Also, this will improve air quality by reducing emissions. Will businesses like this? Of course, they will be able to sell more products with lower overhead to a larger group of people. Will individuals like this? Well, I said, of course, mini rails will save them time and money. People who can't drive or can't afford to drive will not be at a disadvantage if they have access to mini rails. Well, people don't like this idea for whatever reasons. And that's one area where I need to improve on is dealing with the people who don't like this idea. It's really hard for me to imagine not wanting alternatives, not wanting options, not wanting to save time and money. But there we are. What effect will mini rails have on other transportation systems? Reducing traffic will improve conditions for pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers. If businesses start using the system, they will start accommodating mass transit, which will therefore improve. How much will this cost to install? I say, the cost will be comparable with installing a sewer system. Considering this will save road expansion and repair costs, it will be worth it. Furthermore, the cost will be over a long period and be divided among individuals, businesses, and 3 orders of government. Will this create jobs? I said yes. And I said, what does the federal government have to do? Give a research grant to Canada's National Research Council to develop this system. Well, I give myself credit for at least saying what I wanted. I think people would have laughed in my face if I had submitted this. But a few years after I wrote this, about a decade after, the Canadian government did give research funds to a Canadian to work on something like this. Benoit Montreuil in Montreal got money to launch the Physical Internet Initiative. So I had prepared my little package for the Liberal Biennial Convention, and I flew from Victoria to Ottawa, which was a big trip for me back then. And it was cold in Ottawa in March. I was pretty excited being in the capital, and I had an opportunity to go on a tour of the minister's Ottawa office. And I had this little package with me, and I was going to drop it off on the desk, and I chickened out. I realized that there was just too many security around, too many entourage people trying to protect the minister from being embarrassed by my little idea. And I realized that this wasn't going to work. I didn't have it. I thought, what I need to do is find a way to reach the public,